Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 56 of my early campaign where I'm playing as Aragon. And I've just about, I want to say I've figured out my economy at this point. I'm making almost 5 grand a turn. That's without Costa Verde because I did have a ship sunk in a storm. Then I forgot to put boats back in there, so let's do that. I think that should jump it up by another grand at least, I think, because Leon and Castile both have trade resources, silk and then wool here in Leon, so that should make a bit more money. And yeah, other than that, I will be up here. I will be attacking this keep here in Finland to get rid of this. Otherwise, it's going to take forever for these rebels to starve out. And I do want to try to keep this port as well, of course. So, other than that, though, let's see, what was I doing here? Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for, okay, so I have to build this port here in Cyrenacia because I have my armies trapped here. And then I am trying to give away Palestine and Tripoli and then Constantinople. These provinces are all red, but not as red as I would like. 47% loyalty, 62% loyalty, and then 52% loyalty. I'm wondering, so this is an idea. I wasn't going to destroy all these buildings because I was trying to do the Egyptians a favor, you know, but maybe I should destroy the castles. That should still keep the ports. And I think that there's a loyalty boost tied to the castle buildings. I think I can, you know, test it out, of course. In addition to that, I feel like one of the main ways that ports do get destroyed is during the sieges themselves. So if the Egyptian army just comes in and like kills rebels, and they have like no castle to run away to, I think that it should be fine. I think that should give the Egyptians a higher chance of keeping that port, I think. So let's just kind of see how this goes. 47%. And if I destroy this castle, so destroy it, make a bit of money back, and where am I at? It's still 47%, so that didn't do anything for the loyalty. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it should still give the Egyptians a better chance of keeping that port, and I don't have to worry about that here in Sinai. But yeah, I can do that here in Tripoli as well. Destroy this. It's so funny how when you're destroying the castles, if there's any defensive upgrades, it's just that. So you're just recouping the 150 florins off of the catapult towers and nothing about the castle itself, which is just, it's so janky, it's so dumb. Like you can't just get rid of one of the defensive upgrades. It just gets rid of the entire castle chain. I tried that once actually. I had a glorious achievements goal for my Almohads campaign during my very first campaign that I played in this game, and I think I needed to get up to like a citadel or a fortress in a certain time period. Yeah, I know I needed a citadel in a certain time period, but since I already had the fortress, I wasn't sure if it was going to count my points, so I tried to destroy my fortress so that I could just kind of like have that citadel. And it destroyed the entire castle chain. It went all the way back to nothing. And I was like, oh no, Jesus. So I had to build everything back up again, which luckily I was able to do. But that's one of those things about this game that's really janky. But yeah, in any case, I will destroy that. And of course, I still have the port. Hopefully these places go rebel. I really don't want the Egyptians to go to war with me over these provinces. And same with Constantinople. I really don't want war with the Egyptians or the Mongols. That would just be like a worst case scenario. That would suck so much. Now, all things considered, I have to say that I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at, and I'm almost ready to, like, you know, call it game. But there's one other pressing issue which has been really stressful, and that is the fact that my heir is my 43-year-old brother, Prince Ferdinand, and my king is 49, and he's not having any sons at all at this point. All of his, yeah, they're all princesses, and fortunately, princesses can't be faction rulers in this game, so this is making me a little bit nervous. Now there is, and I've talked about this, I had to deal with this in my Almohads campaign. there is a cheat, which is a very functional and worthy cheat, which allows you to put in for a fresh new heir. As long as you put that cheat in, you will get a new heir born the next turn. And then you just have to wait 16 turns for them to come of age. I'm in a position with a 49-year-old king where I need to start thinking about that. Because if I do that cheat now, then, you know, what he would have to be essentially 65. He'd have to live to be 65 years old for his son to come of age. And there's a chance of that. Like, kings could die before then, but maybe not. So this is like kind of go time right now, where I would have to do that now. However, as I learned in that Almohad's campaign, just because that brother is unmarried, which in this case I'm pretty sure he is, Prince Ferdinand, yeah, he's still not married. And just because he's unmarried, I don't know if it's different for the Muslim factions, but in the Almohad's campaign, I had an unmarried brother that did have a son that was like 2 years, you know, 2 years on the way. So that very old brother just had to kind of live, you know, a couple more years, and then his son took over. And that was fine, like it worked out, but I just kind of burned through a lot of turns just to see if that was going to work, because I didn't want to, like, if it doesn't work, then I'll just save scum. I'll go back to this time right now and use that cheat code so that I can get a fresh new heir so I can win this campaign. I'm not losing like that. You know, and I think that most of you, I don't think I have to convince any of you of that. It's dumb. It's dumb that, you know, they made it in this game where you can just lose for no reason, essentially. So I'm not going out like that. If that becomes the case, then I will simply, you know, obviously edit out all of those turns that I played. But to save myself time, and again, I did this in my Almohad's campaign, I found myself in a position in the campaign where I didn't really have to do much. And so I just kind of, you know, managed my turns as quickly as I had to, you know, do like the bare minimum, and kind of skipped through them until I found out what was going to happen. So I will fight this siege up here, so you'll probably see a little bit of that. Other than that, though, I am going to go forward a bit and see if this is going to be okay, because I need this to be okay so I can win this campaign. Unfortunately, my 49-year-old king is not going to... King Gark II, he's pretty solid, you know, all things considered. Good influence. He's a natural leader, so if he did lead a battle, he would give +2 morale. He gives +1 loyalty to his generals. He's an adulterer, you know, so there's -2 piety. And maybe if we could have some of his, you know, if he has like sons from another affair, that'd be nice. But unfortunately, I don't think the Christian rulers are too keen on that. Turns out that the Muslims didn't really care. It seems like when I was reading about the Almohads, they were like, yeah, we don't care. Like, if it's one of the concubines' sons, you know, whoever's fit to rule can rule. But it seems like the Christians kind of, that bothered them a little bit. They were more about the bloodline, you know, they're all about the patriarchy. So let's see, honorable warrior +1, yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, +1 morale, -1 dreads. -1 dreads not good, but and then great builder, of course. Yeah, +1 loyalty to all generals, +1 happiness in all provinces. He's pretty solid, he really is. But unfortunately, he's not going to live the rest of the campaign. So I need to make sure, and I don't think his brother is going to either. Prince Ferdinand, 43, yeah. 43, killer instinct, blackmailer. So blackmailer is going to be -3 loyalty, but looks like he's fine. He's decent. Oh, hey there. So my ruler's wife has given birth to a son. Oh man, it's about goddamn time. So yeah, it's looking like he has to live to the age of 66 for this little fella to become of age. Jesus, that's man, I hope that works out, because I feel like, and this is another thing, I think that I'm not 100% on this, but I feel like at a certain age, maybe it's like 57, I feel like after the age of 57, there becomes a chance every year of the ruler dying due to illness, and that chance might increase with each turn. I'm not sure, but Yeah, this is still not a settled thing for sure. If anything, I wonder if this just complicated things even more. We will have to check in on this as we go along. I did decide just to auto-resolve the castle attack up in Finland. I didn't really feel like fighting that one, so yeah, sorry if you were looking forward to that. It didn't seem like a really consequential thing, so let's see, did I keep the port? Oh, wonderful, yes, that's what I like to see. Yeah. Unfortunately, some rebels took over. Yeah, the rebels are pushing back the Mongols in Livonia. That's annoying, because this is a decent looking... Like, this is decent. You know, a couple chivalric men-at-arms, some Lithuanian cavalry. I guess, yeah, Lithuania... Is this Lithuania? No, this is Livonia. One of these provinces is kind of like Portugal and Scotland in the sense that it's really... there's some sort of natural tendencies to rebel. Maybe it's Livonia. I can't remember which one it is. It might be Livonia. I mean, just based on what we're seeing, right? But yes, now we can, we can assign a governor for Finland. Why not? If we're going to be here, but we are going to leave as, like right now, I suppose, because we do have the ports that remained. Well, would you have a look at this? The Byzantines have reappeared here in Nicaea. Wow. Wowie, wow, wow. They're going to be a major player. Yes, that's really good, because the rebels in Nicaea were formidable, but this Byzantine force should easily be able to dispatch the rebels there. And, yeah, then I can trade with them, I think. I think Nicaea has a port. Let's see if I can see. Yeah, they have a port there, so hopefully I can trade with them. That'd be really wonderful. Some of the other factions haven't taken back some of the provinces. I've been leaving them, and I haven't been able to trade with them. And so my plan is working, I guess. That feels pretty good. So the Byzantines reappearing. Wow, that's a wild card for sure. Still no news on my whole lineage. It's yeah, he's 55 now, so there's still a ways to go before his son. Yeah, he's 6 years old. Prince Alfonso. 10 more years. Can my king live for another 10 years? That is going to be the question here. In the meantime, things are okay. I think my income, yeah, making 1,600. That's okay. Like, I would be totally fine with that. Oh, and the Byzantines took Palestine. Wow. What a wild card play. Wow. Interesting. Huh. So Palestine went to the Byzantines. So I suppose the Egyptians won't be getting Tripoli at all. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. The fact is, the Egyptians in this territory, or in this region, are so weak. It's going to take them 8 more turns before the garrison here in Sinai falls, and that's just that. Like, there's no port here. This is just trying to get them whatever income Sinai will give them, which isn't much. I don't think Sinai is very rich. They can now take Cyrenaica. With this force here, I believe they can take the entire African north coast. This would be... Actually, yeah, this too. Maybe this. The 4-star General Archer is going to be a little bit tricky, but... Yeah, that Egyptian army can probably take the entire, northern coast of Africa. And that'd be really good for me, because they're all ports. Yeah. That'd be a lot of money for me if the Egyptians did that. As far as this, though, I don't know if the Byzantines will be able to even take Tripoli. Well, yeah, they could. Mounted sergeants and spearmen hopefully can beat 1 unit of feudal men-at-arms. So yeah, then I'd be able to trade with them. That'd be good. That'd be fine. And they should win this. Let's see. Look at their armies. Holy shit! They got a bunch of organ guns. That's so awesome. Let's see. Mostly ranged units is what I'm seeing. I wonder why that is how it goes with these reemergence armies. It seems like it's a lot of ranged units. It's from urban militia, but that's a pretty crappy unit for melee. Yeah, other than that, it's mostly ranged. Wow. And the rebels here, Jesus, they got some chunky melee infantry here. Yeah, some chivalric sergeants. Jesus. My understanding is that these auto resolve battles between AI factions are always resolved on melee fortitude. So I don't know how this is going to go for the Byzantines. That's going to be a little bit of a tough fight, just based on, you know, the melee capabilities of both factions. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Oh shit! Speaking of reemergences, here comes the Almohads again. Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that because when their Khalifa died, he was pretty old and he did not have any sons, so I guess he had one on the way. Okay, I mean, as long as I'm not at war with them, that's all that matters. And this army for sure will be able to take over North Africa. Yes, that's totally fine. Looks like actually number of rebel provinces joining the revolt are 3, so it looks like they actually will take over North Africa, probably by themselves. Looks like the Swiss really don't want my princess to marry into their family, which is probably a bad thing for them. You know, like I'm not going to attack them or anything, but just trying to help them out. But they're being pretty coy. This is awesome. Yes, this is really, really nice. So they still have to fight for this province, but this is going to be a done deal. And then all of these provinces already just went to them automatically. That is perfect. I am going to try to get an alliance with them. Do I have a bishop or anyone in this area? Oh, I guess I do not. Okay, let's get some spies down here so I can talk to these people. And by spies, I just mean like bishops. I just need some people to talk to them. And the Byzantines did take Nicaea. It looks like without much of an issue, really. It looks like they didn't really lose much soldiers. I suppose the rebels just retreated, didn't they? They didn't even fight. Yeah, it looks like they just simply retreated. Wow. They could have done some damage, but I guess not. Okay, that's fine. So how much am I making now? Almost 6,000. Oh, wonderful. That's what I'm talking about. Making almost 6 grand now. Now that I'm trading with all of North Africa and I'm trading with Nicaea. If the Mongols want to build a port in Constantinople, that'd be lovely. And if the Byzantines would like to come over here and take Tripoli, that would be lovely. Oh, yes, things are looking good. The Mongols did take Finland, so that's I'm trading with them. They're having so many issues with Livonia. It's just rebel army after every single turn. And then they come over here and snagged Wessex, which is interesting because Wessex does have a port. I wasn't thinking anyone was going to take this, but I guess they used their boats. Although they don't have a boat. How did they take this? I'm a little confused by that. Okay. I mean, whatever. I guess I won't ask any questions. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. My king did die, and it's quite a bit short of his son becoming of age, right? So let's take a look at this and see if his brother has any sons on the way, because he's also quite a bit old. So this is where it gets a bit nerve-wracking here. The Pope is trying to get an alliance with me, but he's at war with the Mongols, and sorry, Popey, I'm siding with the Mongols on this one. They are way more powerful than you. I'm going to turn that down. And my ruler's wife has given birth to a son. That's confusing because I'm not sure. I still don't know, like, when this happens on the year that a king dies. You know, I don't know if this is the king that died. Is it his wife that just did this, or is it the new ruler? I don't know how that works yet. So, if you know the answer to that, please let me know. I haven't figured it out. So Don Beltran, Clarice, very honest man. Okay, let's get to the good stuff here. What's happening here? So Prince Pedro is next in line, and is there? So there are. Okay, so okay, this is interesting. Prince Alfonso, he's still on the way, and that's my last king's son. And then Prince Sancho is the one that just came of age. But these two are sons of the last king. So that's confusing. I didn't... Okay. Let me take a look at this. Where's my guy? Oh shit, where is he? Is he over here? Oh my god. It's a good thing I got boats everywhere because this could be a problem. It's crazy that Crete is my most technologically advanced place. Like, this is the province with the most buildings in it. That's what happens. He always goes to the province, like, this is where he gets coronated because the game just assumes that that's like the capital of your province or of your kingdom, and it's like, oh, Crete, right. This is just like a backwater province to me, but I guess it just has the most buildings in it. That's just so weird. So yeah, my new king, 52 years old, so he's not going to be the king for much longer. 2 dread, 3 command. Killer instinct, yeah, +2 valor, +1 dread. Most eloquent, +2 piety, +2 acumen as well. So he's fine, you know. He's old and he's not going to be ruling the kingdom for much longer. And with that in mind, Prince Pedro is the next in line at 44 years old. So let's check him out. Where is he? His unit's being retrained right now. And he's... So naturally, he's inbred. -3 acumen and -3 command. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, he's not great. He's not great. So at 52 years old, what are the chances that he is still gonna... So Alfonso just needs 7 more years. So we just need this king to live to the age of 59. And things should be good. So fingers crossed. I guess we'll find out. Yeah. We're still in the figuring things out phase. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Other than that, though, things are looking good, right? Making, yeah, almost 9,000 florins again. Like, that's good shit. That's just on the provinces that I have. That's not Tripoli. That's no Tripoli. That's just, you know, my islands in Antioch, Greece, Naples, and then Spain. So these are the provinces that I wanted to own when I set out on this campaign. And now I have them, and I'm making 9 grand, which is good. You know, that's pretty good. My glorious achievements points will gain me victory for sure. And my income's looking good. I can kind of, like, you know, leave this campaign, leaving this world in a better place. Other than the fact that the English Isles are just like, oh, barren wasteland. Other than that, you know, small, you know, the Swiss are taking over Western Europe. That's fine, right? No one minds that. And yeah, the Mongols have pushed about as far west as they dared to do. Actually, yeah, a little further west, right? Yeah. Yeah, than they did historically, so that's fine too. I'm sure they get nicer as they go further west, right? And the Byzantines, reemergence in Nicaea. That's kind of interesting too, right? Because, like, when the Constantinople was sacked by the Crusaders, wasn't it basically the Nicaean, like, kingdom that kind of retook Constantinople in the name of the Roman Empire? I don't really know much about history, but I think that's what happened? Oh, wow. The Mongols have finally taken out the rebels here in Syria. That's unexpected. That was a very powerful army. Okay, yeah, go Mongols. They're taking over a bit of the map. I mean, it's a good thing they don't fight for the glorious achievements points. Otherwise, I might have something to be worried about here. But I just have an enormous stack of armies in Antioch. So even if they wanted to get a little bit, you know, chippy with me, I wouldn't be too worried about it. They'll probably stay in their lane, I think. Well, fingers crossed, right? Famous last words. Speaking of which, the Golden Horde, so my spies are telling me what their plans actually are, and it looks like their plans are to attack the papacy, so I'm not on the menu for them. And my ruler, okay, so my ruler did recently just take a noble wife, and he has a son on the way, so does that cancel out Prince Alfonso? I'm guessing it does. I'm guessing that does. Man of Honor. Don Jamie Ramirez. Plus 100% to cost of bribe. Okay. Cool stuff. And yeah, Holman's, here we go. Yeah, scored 20 points off that, and I think I got another 4 off of Conquest, perhaps. Actually, let me check that. So yeah, I'm making 4 points off Conquest. And I'm just far, far ahead of the Egyptians. And there's one more counting period left, and that's going to be the last turn of this campaign, the year 1453. So we're getting there. You know what? We're getting there. And I think at this pace, it won't be too much longer before I call it game. Wow, this is really interesting. So Prince Alfonso is still here. Huh. And that is my previous king's son. But my current king, now that he has a son, Prince Fernando. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to keep an eye on. So my guess would be in 5 years, Prince Alfonso would become the new heir. But then then Prince Fernando would be like the next in line? No, like he would take over once he becomes of age? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. Prince Pedro, my brother, my other brother is going to be 46, or he is 46. And yeah, there's no way King Ferdinand II is going to live long enough for his own son to become of age. So, would he put his older brother's son on the throne, or would it just simply go to his younger brother, Prince Pedro? Guess I'll have to keep playing on and find out. Oh my goodness, and my points have just gone up. This is going to be for the last... So this is, man, Aragon gets a power spike for sure. For the last counting period of this campaign, I will make whatever that number is. That's going to be 8, 16, 24, 25, just on Homeland itself. So... is one of these new? I was making 5 per province before, so now it's just one more province being counted, correct? Is it Naples? Is Naples the new one? So yeah, a province got added that's going to be counting towards my Homeland's objectives, and yeah, it's another 5 points. That's awesome. Wow. That's really great. Not that I was, in danger of losing this to the Egyptians anyway, but just going forward and knowing that, like, that's really good. And it's interesting that it is simply just for the last counting period of this campaign, you know? Yeah, it's nice to keep that in mind. Now, Prince Alfonso has come of age, and it looks like he is jetted right to the top of the being next in line. So that's good. That's good. That gives me a lot of leeway. He's 16 years old, obviously, so that's really good because my king is 59. But now, what I'm really interested in, his son, Prince Sanjo. So he's going to become of age in 8 years, right? And yeah, I guess by the time, yeah, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter because by the time he could potentially come of age, his dad's going to be dead. So it's going to be Prince Alfonso. Yeah, I think that's how that's going to work. Okay, interesting. That's cool to know, and that's interesting for sure. So, what you got? So, I mean, 5 loyalty. It's not super great, but it's okay. It'll do, I suppose. And it's 5 acumen, 3 command, 3 dread, 5 piety, and hard sum. So this man's ability to add up and get the same result every time gives him an envied monetary ability, +1 acumen. So he can count. That's good. That's good. That's what we need in a ruler. Especially in a kingdom making 10,000 florins a year. That's not bad. That's not bad. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, that's a decent result, isn't it? And now the King of Aragon has died from an illness. So that's going to be leaving Prince Alfonso in charge, I believe. Looks like I did lose a caravel down here in the Barbary Coast, so I will have to bring a ship down there to cover for that. How's the income looking? Yeah, making 14,000. Ooh, man, that is really, really good. Yeah, let's bring a boat down here to the Barbary Coast to cover for that. I did have an event that basically gave Portugal more trade resources, so now Portugal's almost making 7 grand by itself. That's insane. That's so good. Oh man, it happened so late in the campaign, but it's really worth, keeping an eye on. I guess in the future for other campaigns to know, like, yeah, this is really worth something. If I need if I need some money, like Portugal is good. This is a good one. So yeah, that's so much money. That like puts it up there in the realm of like Naples. Yeah, Naples doesn't even make that much. It's making twice as much as Naples. Sicily, yeah, Sicily's like making just a little under what Portugal's making right now. Greece, yeah, Greece is making less. Yeah, Antioch is the king for sure. Antioch's almost making 9 grand by itself. Cordoba is making 4 grand. Yeah, Jesus, yeah, Portugal being my second highest income generator right now. Wow, that's a lot of money. So it's going to be Prince Alfonso, right? So yeah, this is interesting. So Prince Sancho, my last king, the one that just died, this is going to be his son, and he will be coming of age next. And there's Prince Fernando as well, also on the way. And then my king, he's out in Crete, of course. Yeah, classic stuff. 6 acumen, that's really good. That's also helping. That is boosting my income as well. And he's 23, but unfortunately he is unmarried. And I don't think there's any princesses for me to marry him to. I can double check that, because I haven't checked for a while, to be honest. The only Catholic faction that can produce princesses right now is the Swiss. And because they are one of those like re-emergence factions, like they kind of pop up, you know, halfway through the campaign. I know I'm pretty sure they do get princesses, but I don't know if they get a ton of them. I'm not sure about that, but I feel like I haven't seen a Swiss princess in a while, if at all, really. So yeah. And the Germans still exist. Yeah, they do. They're hanging on to Saxony. Yeah, that's it. They just have the one province left. And I'm not seeing any German princesses. So hopefully King Alfonso can find a wife on his own, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to help him out here. Well, seeing as how my lineage of my kingdom is in good hands, considering that I have a capable and, you know, youngish good king who's married, he has sons on the way, I decided to kind of just, you know, fly through those last, you know, 20 or so turns, or, you know, so, and, yeah, I am about ready for this campaign to be over. So, yeah, that's looking good. I'm making a lot of money. I'm making almost 15,000 florins. That's looking wonderful. So what if the Mongols have taken over like half of the map? It's okay, because we're homies. We're fine. Like we're pals. I've turned down the papacy. I've turned down the Egyptians, because me and the Mongols, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. And like, the Mongols will never be able to take Livonia. They've had so many issues with these rebels here in Livonia. So, in fact, my spies probably caused a lot of that. I didn't think about that. Yeah, my spies might have not really helped the issue there. Yeah. In any case, this is about it. We're about to go to the year 1453, and I think that's going to be the last turn here. And I wanted to talk real quick about something that I just... The building... the tech tree, or the building tree in this game, is so funny. There's so many things about this tree that are weird and don't make a lot of sense. And one of them is... Let's find the building... Yeah, the university. This is such a bizarre thing. So the university itself, it's a noble seat of learning, is always an adornment to a province. A ruler who builds a university and endows it with sufficient lands to bring in an income gains influence and prestige, and may sow the seeds for further greatness in future generations as yet untaught. The university itself, my understanding of it, it doesn't do anything by itself. It's literally just a prerequisite for 2 other buildings that you can get after you get the university, which is so weird. I think, so I know they have the academy in Rome Total War, where if you have a ruler stationed in that province for a certain amount of time, he will gain good traits. And I wonder if that's something that they had in mind with this. In fact, gosh, now that I think of it, I don't even know if that is true. Based on the internet, based on what I'm reading, that's not how that works in this game. But I don't know. Let me know if that's the, if you've noticed that by keeping generals in provinces with universities, that they get better traits. I know that's how that works in Rome, but I don't think that's how it works here in this game. But let me know otherwise. What I do know is that it allows you to build 2 other buildings. And this is where it gets interesting as well. The College of Surgeons is one of them. So although looked down on by physicians as menial workers in medicine, surgeons are a vital and skilled part of the medical world. The College of Surgeons gives a home to part of the medical profession and helps by spreading new knowledge and good practice to mitigate the effects of disease. The College of Surgeons, again, not helpful because it doesn't tell you what it does here, but if you look up online, it does give plus 40 happiness, which is huge, but by the time you're building this, the province that you're building this in is already going to be well established. Like, I think these buildings do require a fortress, and I'm not saying a fortress itself guarantees, a happiness bonus, but, you would think that you would have it under control by then. So it's really bizarre. It's a weird thing. It seems kind of pointless to build the College of Surgeons, to be honest. I still would do it if I had the time. I kind of forgot to, start building stuff again after I knew things were okay. So what I did instead, the Military Academy, again, it's not going to be finished in this campaign. It's something to keep in mind, though, for other campaigns, because this one is actually useful. This is something that actually build towards, and this is because the Military Academy, I can read this to you right here, as feudal armies give way to professional and national forces, the need for an educated class of leaders becomes paramount. Social rank, although useful to a commander, is not sufficient to entirely master the new ways of war. A military academy therefore allows the training of some very advanced units. Now I know for the Turks, the military academy is required to train their feared janissaries, a really elite unit of theirs. For the rest of us, though, it just gives discipline to any units that are trained in that province. That's actually very useful. Discipline is a useful trait. What that means is that a unit that is disciplined will not take a morale hit from units that are running away close to it, as long as that unit is also disciplined or higher. Elite is the next tier. So it goes like disciplined and then elite. Elite units will not take a morale hit by other units that are running away unless they are elite, and that's it. Elite, and that's it. Not disciplined. So it means that a unit, that's disciplined and elite is, more likely to hold the line. If you have other units around it that are running away that are not disciplined, it's going to be fine. It's going to hang out and keep fighting for a while. So disciplined is a good trait to have. This is useful for sure. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that because that's just a really interesting, fun thing that this, this game has. It's just kind of quirky, kind of cool, kind of fun. Anyway, economy's looking great. Almost 15,000 florins a turn, and I have over 500,000 florins in the bank, which is quite an achievement, I must say. I have to pat myself on the back considering that, wasn't I like 200,000 like in debt at one point when I was dealing with the Byzantines way earlier in this campaign? Anyway, I feel good about it. I recreated the Crown of Aragon and then some, and yeah, I'm gonna win this one, I think. That'd be so, I haven't checked this in a while. That would have been so crazy if I was like, no shit, I'm not gonna win this. No, I'm gonna win this. That's gonna be awesome. The Egyptians are having a really hard time with the Mongols, and thanks to this campaign ending, they will survive this campaign just barely. So yeah, I can't remember if the campaign ends now or one more turn. It might just be one more turn. I guess we'll find out here. Here's our homelands. I just scored another 25 points of homelands alone. Nice. And yeah, it's going to be one more turn, I suppose. Yeah, look at that. Check it out. I'm winning. That's awesome. Yeah. And yeah, my king, King Alfonso I, you will be the king that sees the Crown of Aragon off into its glory days. Yep, pretty solid dude. And he does have a couple sons on the way, Prince Gark and Prince Ferdinand. So this kingdom, this crown is presumably in good hands. So with that, without further ado, let's drop one more save, and let's end this campaign. And there we have it. Victory. The year is 1453, and the time has come to assess the glory of your realm. Your glorious achievements outstrip those of all your rivals. Victory is yours. Well, that's just wonderful. Even though your rivals survived alongside your outstanding empire, they were unable to match your achievements. Glory is yours. Isn't that lovely? A pretty long campaign.
It's a day for celebration. The Catholic might of Aragon has triumphed. From our heartland in Spain, we have crushed our Moorish enemies, and now all Christians bend the knee to the throne of Aragon. This surely is proof that God's blessing is upon us, that Aragon was destined to rule Europe and the lands beyond.
And is that going to be it? I actually forgot that they have a little speech at the end. That's cool. I like that speech. That was pretty neat. And then I think we just kind of jam out to the credits at this point. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's been that. And man, oh man, have I learned a lot about this game in these last two campaigns for the Almohads and the Aragonese. Especially with the help of a lot of you, especially just kind of, you know, giving me all the tips that I could hope for, really. And I have a lot to go over before I start my new campaign, which is going to be the Byzantines. I have been practicing my opening for them, just kind of refreshing myself, because my first campaign that I beat on expert difficulty was with the Byzantines, but that was that was like last year, I think, so I do need a little bit of a refresher there. And yeah, before I do that, I will be going back through all of these videos and looking at all of the tips that have been left for me, because I want to keep learning, you know, and I think I have made some strides in these campaigns. I've learned quite a bit, but there's still more to learn. There's still more to really ingrain in my brain, you know. It's one thing to be told something, but it's another to really know something through and through. And I'm looking forward to making this game one of those things that I really understand, you know. So, in any case, that's going to be for this campaign. I just want to say to any of y'all that have you know, watched this far, thank you so much. It means the world to me. This doing this channel has been quite a journey for me, and it's been super rewarding, super fun, and I can't thank you enough. It really does just mean so much to me that even if you don't make it this far in the campaign, even if you're just kind of checking out some of my videos throughout you know, throughout these campaigns, it's still just, it means a lot that y'all are stopping by and supporting the channel, dropping your likes, subscribing, and yeah, talking to me about this, because I'm so passionate about these Total War games. So I'm having a great time, and I'm looking forward to continuing the fun with my next campaign. But until then, I just want to say thank you very much. I've been Counterstep, and this has been Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.